Hello, hello. This is your host, Sheraz Ahmed, ready to kick off another bite-sized episode of the Crypto Valley Association podcast. A special thank you goes out to Script for supporting us. Now let's discover together the growing trends of this fast-moving space and try to shed some light on the mysteries it contains. Today we are joined by Alex Suhobokov, head of Fintech at Dukascopy Bank, a Swiss innovative online bank based in Geneva, providing internet-based and mobile trading services, banking, and other financial services through proprietary technology solutions. So let's dive straight into the hidden world of banking. Alex, happy to have you with us. How are you doing?
Hi, Shiraz. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure.
I hope, all everyone who listens, all good in this complicated times, and I hope that it will end up soon, as we as we just discussed.
Yes, I hope so too, and let's hope that this conversation here brings some light and brightness into people's days. So maybe we can start straight off by you telling our audience a little bit about your first blockchain related experience.
Thanks a lot. Yes, so might sound as a funny story, but my first experience with crypto, just as the one for the bank, for the Dukascopy bank, was not that pleasant, because I think it was some years ago. Hard to remember when, like 5, maybe more. So we, as a representing online industry, online banking, having services in this area. So we were always, and still are, unfortunately, a target for different types of hackers and DDoS attackers. So some years ago, some maybe 5 to 7 years ago, we started getting like messages from them that if you want to prevent a DDoS attack, please pay us that many bitcoins. So that was the first. So blackmailing was the first experience of ours with crypto, and unfortunately, because of that, let's say this first introduction had a very negative kind of context. But then gradually, we were looking at crypto from a different stance, from a different viewpoint, and at some point, something like, I think, already 2.5 years ago, an understanding came to us that there are very interesting opportunities. So that was, I think, a proper introduction to this area, to crypto, that me personally and we inside the Dukascopy Bank had.
Wow. Okay, that's it's a different one than we normally get on the show. It's normally something like, surfing the net. But wow, I guess, yeah, so there are two sides to every coin. And so maybe you can tell us a little bit more about Dukascopy Bank and what differentiates you from other banks in the world and Switzerland.
Yes, absolutely. What makes us different is the fact that we started. As also we discussed before the podcast, that how the transitioning, right, about the digital transition that most of traditional banks are facing right now. And yesterday I read an article about how complicated it is for large banks to transition to digital. For us it was a different, let's say, kind of perspective that we were facing. So we started as in digital, fully in digital. So from the very first day, and we were into the the fintech space before the word, this label fintech, even emerged. So we definitely developed along a very different perspective, a very different path. So we had all the APIs and in-house developed platforms years ago. So let's say 10 years ago, when we started as a bank, when we obtained the banking license from FINMA. Okay. So in a way, it has been easier for us to adapt to this kind of fintech environment. On another hand, definitely we had to. So it was challenging to step into crypto in particular, because we were one of the first movers years ago. And we had very ambitious plans at that time to introduce our own token which we finally successfully did.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to hearing more about that, and I'm glad that you didn't take any of these negative experiences that you had in the past to heart, and you've been able to, let's say, accept and integrate more crypto into your day-to-day life. So how open is the bank to crypto?
That's a tough question. We definitely develop crypto projects across several paths. One of them is just the extension of our main business, which is online brokerage. And on this side, we offer exposures to different, well-known cryptocurrencies. So anyone willing to take such an exposure can open a trading account with us and then get access to these instruments through our trading platform. We have other projects on the digital banking side. So the digital banking arm and the digital banking activity is relatively newer for us comparing to the trading one. On this side, so we have developed our own token, as I explained. It's called Dukascoin. So I think we will dedicate some more time to tell in more details about it. And also we have an extremely ambitious plan on the side of stablecoins. This is a very new area. So there are several tokens, let's say, out of regulative space that are very well known, like Tether. So we want to introduce a regulated activity into this industry and into this stablecoin domain. And as you know, there is like lots of things going on in the space. On the regulation side, for example, European Commission has just issued its proposal for regulating stablecoins as part of crypto industry regulation in general.
Yes.
So we are looking forward to steps from FINMA. But yes, we have, let's say, a ready-made plan for the product and negotiating with the regulator on the launch date.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I'm very curious to hear more about that. And so before we move on to some of those very interesting topics, maybe you can tell our audience a little bit about how you choose some of the crypto that you offer onto your platform. Do you do it by the top 10? Is it by volume? Is it by particular preference by some of your senior management? How do you decide that?
Well, the decision is not that complicated, because you know that let's say top 5 cryptocurrencies, they are by far larger than everything else on the market. So we didn't look too long to to identify the tokens that would be interested for the audience. And as it always happens, there are like one currency, which is of course Bitcoin, which grabs all the attention. But we, if I remember correctly, we offered 5 cryptocurrencies by now on our platform. Okay, obviously, wow. Ethereum and Bitcoin, they
were always the most wanted ones.
Absolutely, yes.
And so, do you offer leveraged trading or leveraged products within this?
Yes. So our platform is the one that I spoke about on the trading side is for leveraged instruments. Mm-hmm. So you can, it's up to the investor, it's up to the trader to decide which amount of risk he's willing to take when taking the exposure on different types of instruments. So it can go to very high levels, or it can be 1-to-1. So it can remain unleveraged. But the opportunity is there.
Okay, and very high levels, like how high are we talking?
For traditional instruments, it's 1 to 100, even 1 to 200, like currency pairs, like traditional fiat currency pairs. But for cryptocurrencies, of course, it's lower than that because of volatility. So still, for risk lovers, definitely it's an area to look at and to, let's say, decide which risk levels are comfortable.
Yeah, no, I definitely understand exactly what you're talking about. I mean, you just mentioned that it's up to the investor, the trader, to define the risk that they put on these trades. Do you believe that let's say a retail investor or trader has the education or the financial knowledge needed in order to trade leverage products? Is there something that you at Dukascopy Bank do to educate them on these different products, or something that could be done?
Well, first, we definitely comply with all the regulation in this area. In Europe, there is, let's say, more advanced or more elaborate regulation in this area. I personally believe that you cannot prevent people from doing what they actually want. So I don't see this regulation in Europe to be like extremely successful, because people who love to take risk, who want to take risk, they find the ways to do it, and normally it's in the unregulated space.
Mm-hmm.
So there is definitely a downside to this type of regulations, but I should also mention that, and we see it from our clients, that the level of education among just lay people is constantly growing. Mm-hmm. So that's because of access to media, internet. So now younger people, they're far more educated in the financial space than they used to be, I think, decades ago. So I think it makes sense to remain open-minded, and then protect the regulated area, and not to push out people to the unregulated one. I guess that's the unfortunate consequences of such let's say interferences and such attempts.
It's a dual-edged sword, right? I mean, being able to have higher gains, you can also have higher
yes
losses.
But also in our industry, it's customary to offer let's say that what is called demo platforms, right? So it's the same environment, but without taking like a real risk. So it's trading with paper money. There is always an opportunity to improve the understanding of how platforms work. But it's just like with any other area, that it's up to a person to get properly trained before jumping into some activity.
I totally got what you mean. And I mean, demo accounts are good fun and I think can be used, but the whole game changes when you have skin in the game, and you're there. Actually, that money is on the line. But I think there's a lot that's done within this space to support people, and at the end of the day, it is their decision, right? I mean, if they want to go to the casino and gamble away, then that's their choice, and you can only provide them with a certain level of education that they need. But it's very interesting, and maybe you can tell us more about your initiative then with Dukascoin and how things are moving on that front.
So regarding Dukascoin, that was a very interesting endeavor, I would say, of ours.
Mm-hmm.
So we had, that was like a very ambitious plan, because we started, thinking about issuing our own crypto tokens. I think already like 2.5 years ago. So it's hard to remember the precise kind of dates. When, in any case, that was a very beginning, stage. And speaking about a bank issuing tokens, it was very, very ambitious from the part of the bank. Anyway, we saw the opportunity. Of course, we didn't plan, let's say, an ICO, right? We didn't intend to attract financing, because that just wouldn't fit any kind of regulative framework. We had a different type of idea. So that was part of our retail banking, so digital banking or challenger banking activity that we've been developing.
Yes.
Because just as our peers or our competitors like Revolut and 26, who had extensive referral systems, we had ours as well. So we paid, fiat money for our clients to attract their friends. So we decided to make an experiment with crypto, with our own cryptocurrency, to replace, fiat referral system with the crypto referral system. And that's what we did. We developed an airdrop concept. that basically fully replaced our referral system, right? So today, for example, if you as a client, you open an account at our digital bank, you will get 5 Dukascoins for free. And if you bring afterwards, you bring your friends, so all of you you and your referrer will also get the 5 Dukascoins for free. Basically, this is the only way how new Dukascoins are minted. So there is no other way. So this creates the supply for tokens, and on the demand side, we offered to our clients a staking program. As part of the staking program, they can choose between crypto or even fiat reward, and this is absolutely exclusive. They have to accumulate a certain amount of tokens, of coins, and then they can stake them. They can stake them for 3 months or for 1 year, and in return, they can get either fiat or coin reward. So it will be a long story, but you can look it up on the website of the project, which is dukascoin.com. So it turned out to be a very interesting instrument for our clients and for our prospective clients who, come and open accounts with us. So after you open an account, you have an opportunity to either sell Dukascoins on our internal marketplace or on our partner exchange marketplace, or you can keep accumulating them. So the accumulation works in 2 ways, where there are 2 options for that. So you either bring friends to open accounts with the bank, or you just purchase Dukascoins from, again, either internal or external marketplace.
Okay, wow, I might just have to open an account now then.
Go ahead and try. But we already have hundreds of people participating in staking program, and since we launched the process, so already more than 200,000 of our clients, they got their well-deserved Dukascoins for opening accounts at the bank. So that's what I would say. It goes beyond the marketing experiment. It turned out to be like a full-scale monetary experiment. It was extremely interesting experience, I think, for all of us inside the bank participating, because of course we had our experience with trading platforms, with ECN networks, where, basically we, pool liquidity from multiple providers onto a single market, single platform, which we give to our clients. But we never had experience with issuing, our own currency and managing it and seeing it developing. So that has been a massive experience for the bank. And this positive experience also led us to the stablecoin concept, which we've been developing for quite a while already. For Dukascoin, I encourage everyone to just go ahead and try. And on this project's webpage, just to look up, the offerings for staking. And it seems to be like a very interesting, alternative type of instrument.
No, definitely.
Alternative even to crypto, alternative to Bitcoin, because it's absolutely uncorrelated with anything, right? Because it has its own rationale, kind of its own logics behind, which is based on supply and demand flows. But it's been already live for a year and a half. So since even more than that, since February last year. So you can track all the history from price graphs that you will find on the webpage.
Yeah, from the Genesis. Wow, that's truly incredible. And so you mentioned quickly the stablecoin initiative. Is this Dukas Cash, or is this completely 2 different things?
Yeah, it has a working name of Dukas Cash. So it has been changed. Let's say the way we are trying to find, a proper name for that. Yes. We started, developing the project before there was this massive attention from the global regulators to stable. So. And the threshold, as you all know, was the coming of Facebook into this market, which kind of changed, upside down the attitude of global regulators to the stablecoin instruments. Yeah. So since then, yes, we've been, let's say, adapting our white paper and our processes and procedures to this new kind of regulative requirements, and we are really looking forward to get the green light. So it's been already a while since we started developing the project, and we also, yeah, it was very interesting to see, let's say, the framework designed by European regulators on how they plan to regulate stablecoins. And we were delighted to see that they understood that there should be a room for private issuers for stablecoins, because there were, how to say, the rumors or discussions among the regulators that stablecoins should remain limited only for, let's say, public issuers. We believe, and I personally believe, that this is an incorrect way of looking at this instrument and at this problem in general, because unfortunately, let's say, in these circulations and these discussions, the public, the authorities are forgetting that innovation, right, that of course now everyone speaks about, and not now, but already for quite a while. Innovation is a product, or it mainly comes from the private industry, right, not the public one. So I believe that the main role of the authorities and the institutions, public institutions, is to create, yes, a well-regulated, but still an environment where private companies can innovate properly.
Yes.
So stablecoin as an instrument, it definitely creates huge opportunities for the future development of finance in general. So it's definitely not correct to limit private companies from having access to this instrument, and to jump through competition, of course, jump into innovation for the benefit of all the future finance and all the future infrastrucures. Yeah, we see it from this perspective, and therefore, yeah, it was a very positive sign from European regulators who, yes, they created a tough legal and regulative framework, but they still, left this room for, let's say, for private issuers of stablecoins, and still, I personally, I'm quite cautious and looking into what central banks doing. Well, what plans do they have? Because I really don't want to find, let's say, financial industry in a scenario where central banks just get into this kind of play of how to say it correctly, of privatizing in a way this new area, right? Yeah. Because I see the enthusiasm with which they are getting into this activity, and to be frank, sometimes it's a bit frightening.
Yes.
We and now I'm referring to the Crypto Valley and the regulatory working group, and dedicated stablecoin task force that combines the prospective issuers of stablecoins. So we all expect and hope that in Switzerland there will also be a room for private issuers of stablecoins, because I'm pretty much aware of and familiar with already multiple projects in Switzerland from banks and from non-banking companies as well, who issue their own stablecoins. They all seem interesting. They all seem perspective. Of course, question is how many stablecoins do you need for a market? But it is about it's for competition to this, not for anyone else.
Yeah, I totally agree. And so, do you believe this kind of competition between stablecoins is something that's healthy, and that there's one that's going to come on top, or do you believe that it should be one of these kind of public entities that should really kind of reign upon it, one of the central banks that should be like, no, these private initiatives are not operating it in the right way. It should really be just one entity that creates a stablecoin? How do you believe this kind of competitive environment is going to that?
I believe that we should always remember about modern economics and reread economic textbooks, clearly state that innovation is a good friend of competition. right?
Yes.
Or even a family member, let's say, unlike extensive regulation. So regulation and innovation, they can be friends, but we all should be very careful not to make them, enemies. But when it comes to competition and innovation, they are definitely always friends, let's say, and as I told, even closer than friends. Therefore, remembering that, let's say, and I believe in these concepts, and I believe that everything should be decided from the competition stance, not from, let's say, imposed regulation on a completely new industry, which will not allow some interesting projects to even get started.
Yeah, no, I totally see that, and staying on the same wavelength of competition and innovation. There are some people that have this saying where they say, "Goodbye banks and buy Bitcoin." How do you believe this kind of banking sector will develop in the crypto space with this kind of competition and innovative approach?
Well, that's a very, very interesting question. I'm thinking about it all the time myself. Well, definitely. Definitely, some of the banks will find it very hard to survive and to find, their ways to this new reality. I'm not, let's say, afraid or not fearing, about the position of the Dukascopy bank, because as I explained, we've been, in the digital space since the beginning, so we are very quick to adapt, and you can see from our projects that we are here to grab the opportunities in the crypto space. But it is also our position that traditional finance, which we still represent, and this new wave of innovation, of this innovative, say, finance, or innovative domain of finance, they can totally live up together. What I personally believe is that the future of the financial industry development is in ecosystems and partnerships, like deep partnerships between the traditional banks and the new players in this area, and also non-financial companies as well, which are in the digital space. I don't know, anyone from game developers to modern contemporary channels for like sales channels. So the future competition, I think, and the main beneficiaries from the competition in this space, and highly competitive space, will be the groups of companies from different industries that will get together to form partnerships to offer a completely new product or service to clients, which will combine anything from financial service to gaming to different types of activities. Crypto trading, of course, as well. Yeah. So, answering your question, the competition will be tough. Definitely, not everyone will survive, but there will be an opportunity to cooperate, and that's the only way.
Okay. And so your future vision of this whole industry is that corporation approach, whereby even though there will be a competitive landscape, at the end of the day, these kind of like private, public sectors and the traditional and the more innovative space will start collaborating closer as well.
That's the only way. So there I don't see other ways. Therefore, we have started to develop, for instance, our ecosystem already a while ago, and we already have partner crypto exchanges, for instance. So our current ecosystems, maybe a few words about that, we developed is a way of cooperating for a traditional bank, which is Dukascopy, and a crypto exchange, right? So how it works? So under the current tough IML framework, we offer basically a way to cooperate and a way to do business for crypto exchanges, right? So crypto exchanges can come to us. We will, of course, conduct a due diligence on them. We'll provide an account for them, but also for their clients. Okay. Right. So we have developed a very advanced onboarding system inside the bank, which is based on video identifications, identifying clients through video, which allows, a total, let's say, global scope to apply to clients.
Mm-hmm.
To a global perspective. So we will offer accounts for the clients of crypto exchanges as well. So thus creating basically an ecosystem. And then powered by API, which crypto exchange would integrate, we will provide a very comfortable experience, user experience for the clients of exchange, where they can actually trade crypto on one hand, and on the other hand get a comfortable access to fiat, without breaking anything on IML side, so under full-scale IML control of the bank.
Okay, I see. So that synergy between the two. I mean, that's marvelous.
Yes, exactly. And we already have working partners for this ecosystem, and it's working extremely well. We are very happy with this experience that we gained, and we only became more confident in our understanding that the future is for ecosystems, and with developing this deep partnership.
Wow.
And everyone is speaking now, so you can find like lots of conferences where speakers would for hours, talk about ecosystems, but in reality, there is definitely a deficit of that.
No? Oh, okay.
The deficit, the deficit coming primarily from on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So on one hand, the banks are not always ready and technologically not ready to offer something like that, and on another hand, companies are not always ready to share kind of their clients, with the bank. But the synergy is far beyond any challenges that can emerge. Mm-hmm. And we have tested that already, and we can only prove with our example that it's absolutely the case.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Alex, for those insights. And unfortunately, I'm sure we could continue on for many hours to go. We need to slowly come to an end here. Is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience today?
But maybe a few words about, so I know that, so this podcast is, let's say, for crypto enthusiasts primarily, right? So anyone interested in, as an announcement, and I'll take this opportunity to make an announcement. So anyone interested in stablecoins, first, of course, I encourage to become the members of CVA, and then we would welcome them in our task force, in our working group, regulatory working group, to discuss everything related to crypto and to stable coins in particular. The topic is extremely interesting. It's in the very beginning of its development. I believe, I hope also that there is a bright future for this type of instruments, and just welcome anyone interested.
Awesome. Well, yes, you heard it from Alex here. If you enjoyed this conversation, feel free to check out more on our website, cryptovalley.swiss, where we host plenty of events, educational content, and even provide information on how you can join our growing community and the CVA working groups, including the one that Alex leads with regards to stablecoins. So thanks again, Alex, for joining us.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. So stay tuned, stay safe, and until next time from the Crypto Valley in Switzerland.